Rest in peace to Nip. What's good, homies and homettes? It's been a while. I know it's been a while since I posted on this channel, but here I am, baby. But let me tell you this. If you would like to see more videos on this channel, you would like to see me make this channel more of a priority, give me your support. Show me that you want more, and I will give you more of my energy. My full-time job, guys, is online personal training. Be sure to follow me at Beast Mode Jones if you want to get in shape. You want to get whole ready? Come on down to Beast Mode Jones. I'll show you the way. That's what I do full-time. That's top priority. This channel here more so is a way for me to talk about things that are not fitness related. And there's a lot of things that interest me. I like anime, I like movies, I like spirituality, I like all kinds of things. I love philosophy. So this channel, I made it as a way to express myself and to connect with people that are on that kind of vibe, So if you want more on this channel, give me your support, give me your engagement, and I'll do a better job at giving you guys more, okay? Reflecting with Chris. So, I came across this video, guys, and this video has been shared quite a bit amongst the red pill community. I thought this was interesting. Let's go ahead and share the clip right now.
For better.
For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke.
So as you see, a man and woman are getting married, and she's not feeling the for richer or for poor. As you see, the pastor, the counselor, whatever you want to call him, he said the woman clearly said she's not with the for richer or poor. Whether you choose to agree with this shit or not, those are the facts. Let's continue.
In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
Now, this is a part a lot of people seem to have polarizing views about. You have people on the right and people on the left. Apparently, she had a problem with the whole obey part. So, I want to give my opinion. I watched people talk about this shit. I've scrolled down comments in the comment sections, and I just want to give my piece because I have not seen any men with my opinion. And this is my honest opinion. I'm not necessarily trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm just giving a different point of view. Perfect example, right? Let's say we're on a battlefield and we got our point of view. But I also have a guy on a tower. This tower is very high. I'm talking stories high. Maybe on a high tower, got the binoculars and everything, right? I hit him up and ask him what he sees. He has a different point of view than me. He can see farther out. He can see things that I cannot see. That's how everything works. We have one topic, right? Just like this topic right here. Ask 10 different people that has different walks of life. Ask different races of people, you're gonna get different points of view. You might even see things clearer. You might even see some things that you overlooked. So that's what I'm bringing here. I'm just bringing my point of view. And if anybody has an opinion on this, you guys comment below as well, okay? Now let's get to the first part. For richer or poor, she didn't like that too much, right? In my opinion, guys, this is just my opinion. I'm not a huge marriage advocate, right? But I will say this, I respect it to the fullest. Not only do I respect it to the fullest, it's literally a ritual. It's even backed by the Bible. Two souls becoming one flesh. It's a spiritual ritual that must be taken serious. Now let's be real here. So many people be getting divorced. Look, especially in America, look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Based off the numbers, it's like 40% or more of marriages end in divorce. And we're not even talking about the people that are married that are not happy. Let's be real here. 40% of marriages or more are ending in divorce. And we're not even talking about the ones that are just stuck. There are some people that probably would love a divorce right now, but they're stuck, meaning it might cost them too much to get divorced. As they say, cheaper to keep her. You know, or they're not confident in themselves. They feel like they can't do any better, so they might as well stay. So let's just keep it real here. A lot of marriages end in divorce. Why? Let's not talk about infidelity. Let's not talk about finances, which are reasons. Let's get down to the root. And the root is people are not honoring their vows. It's really just that fucking simple. I don't give a fuck about, I lost attraction to her. She's not as beautiful as she used to be. He's not as handsome as he used to be. He don't make as much money as he used to. We fight all the time. At the end of the day, when you really get down to the bottom line, most of these marriages end in divorce because they did not honor their vows to the fullest. Based off this book right here, I'm not religious, by the way. Based off this book right here, the King James Version of the Bible, at the beginning was the Word. Even in the Hindus, they believe vibration. What is word? Sound waves. What do sound waves do? Vibrate. There's common denominators. And when you're talking about universal, when you're talking about religions and disciplines, there's going to be some differences. But when we're talking about universal laws that cannot change, I don't give a damn about law of man. Universal laws will never change. Fuck your feelings. When it comes to universal laws, those will never change. Keeping your word is fucking crucial. Notice when people get married, not only do the preachers say things that you gotta repeat, but most weddings, they like you to write your own vows. I'm willing to bet big money. I'm willing to bet some money on it. If we were to get 10 couples that got divorced and somehow get the vows they wrote, I'm willing to bet money on this. We get 10 couples that got divorced and we somehow, maybe we can get their wedding on tape, right? Or find the vows they wrote. I'm willing to bet somewhere down the line, the vows were not honored to the fullest. Again, guys, marriage is a spiritual ritual. The world is full of rituals. Music is full of rituals. There's rituals all around us.
Music is spiritual. Anybody that fuck with music long enough, you know, if you don't cloud yourself and you don't miss it, you're gonna realize it's spiritual. You can miss it though, you know what I mean? But if you in tune and you present enough, you're gonna be like, it's vibrations, it's the word. If you even read the Bible, in the beginning, it was the word. That's the first thing that the Bible say. You know what I mean? So the power of the word is intense, it's real. So to try to make music and separate it from a spiritual thing, I don't think it's possible.
Marriage is a spiritual ritual. Notice in the church, they say, can I get a witness? It only takes one witness. Notice a wedding is full of witnesses. The easiest way to curse your wedding, the easiest way to curse your union is agreeing to some shit with your tongue that you know in your heart you don't agree with. If you know for a fact, if this man goes broke and you gone, don't get up there with your tongue saying for richer or poor. Because there's a good chance the universe is gonna test your bond. If you know for a fact this man ends up in a wheelchair or very sick or some shit, he can't get erect because he paralyzed or some shit, and there's a good chance you might leave or be or fuck other men or whatever, don't get up there and say in sickness or health you're gonna be loyal to the. Don't say no shit like that if you don't mean it. See, I'm not a big fan of the marriage thing, but I respect it to the fullest, cause that shit is spiritual. Those are soul contracts. At the beginning was the word. Do not get in front of witnesses, performing a spiritual ritual, saying shit with your tongue that you do not mean. So, I'm embarrassed for the brother. I can't speak for him. Nobody can speak for him. That's his life. He chose that partner. Maybe she provides qualities that he values. That's really all it comes down to. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe she brings things to the table that he truly values with his heart, and he's willing to overlook the fact that if he goes broke, she's gonna go. It would be great if he could find a partner that's gonna ride with him till the wheels fall off. That's honestly what I feel like a real marriage should be about. That's my opinion. Everybody's different. Everybody's free to their own opinion. I feel like when two souls come together and become one flesh, it should not be limited based off of things of the world. Money is things of the world. When two souls come together, it should be a soul connection. That's my opinion. But at the end of the day, guys, this woman has every right to be happy. If it takes a certain level of income, a certain standard of living to ensure she's happy, she has every right. And she should not get in front of witnesses, especially on camera, saying some shit she don't believe in. So that's the first topic, for rich and for poor. It would be great to have a partner that is gonna ride with you whether you get sick, whether you lose your money. That is God-given. That is a blessing. If anybody can find that, God bless you in your bond, and I wish you the best. As they say in the Bible, when a man finds a wife, he has found a good thing. But unfortunately, that's not the mass majority of people. Unfortunately, we live in the world, man. Everybody's not going to be fortunate to find that. It would be great if you can just get 80% of that. If you could truly find somebody who's going to love you whether you are rich or poor, whether your health declines. I'm talking about declines to the point where you can't even fuck her no more. Excuse my French, but this is how I talk. Don't like how I talk? Get the fuck off my page. Somebody who's gonna love you even though you can't even give her the dick no more. You're that sick. You're that crippled. Still loves you. God bless you in that woman. You have hit the jackpot. There's a difference between partners, helpmeets, twin flames, and soulmates. Don't confuse that shit. There's a huge difference. Again, that man chose that woman, that's on him. I personally wouldn't, but that's on him. I wish them the best. Let's get to part two. Part two, when they said obey. That ruffled a lot of feathers, especially the men. I want some of you religious guys to comment below. I want my religious followers to comment below. Although I'm not religious, I love studying religious books. I love studying disciplines. I love studying wherever I can get knowledge. Okay? And one thing about that wedding, there was a preacher there. So I'm assuming they used the Bible. Now this book right here, it clearly says right here, instructions to the young ladies, instructions to future wives. Chapter 2, verse 5 of Titus, to be discreet chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient, that means obey, to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. But if you get the New International Version, I'll put it on the screen. They changed the words around. It says to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, is submissive to their own husbands. Notice, submissive. So what do you do with this? Because let me tell you this, although submit and obey may seem like the same thing, it isn't. Hey, baby. It may seem like the same thing, but it isn't. It looks the same way, but there's small differences. Me personally, this is why I'm asking my religious followers, what do you think? Me personally, I like submit. I don't like obey. I don't like obedience. I like submit. Me personally, I don't like that. I don't like how you can get different versions of the Bible, which is supposed to be the true word of God, supposed to be. And you got these different translations using different words. Although some of these words have the same meaning, there's still micro differences. And when there's micro differences, it might mess with the message. Unless you can read Greek, you're not getting that New Testament in its purest form. You're getting processed. You're getting everything processed and translated. Not saying it's worthless, but let's just keep facts as facts. Unless you can read Aramaic and Hebrew, you're not getting Old Testament in its purest form. Facts are facts. Me personally, I like reading several different books and thinking for myself. Submit and obey may appear to be the same thing, but there's small, little micro differences in submission and obey. Even though it might look the same, there are some small differences between submitting and obey. You know? Let me give you an example, right? Obedience is simply just taking orders, no question asked. That's obedience. That's like a soldier taking an order from his superior. You know, they even have a rule, disobeying a direct order, I believe. That's a rule. Like, you can get in trouble for disobeying a direct order, right? Court-martialed or some shit. Obedience, kind of like a dog. When I tell him to sit or roll over, he doesn't ask any fucking questions. He just sits and rolls over. That's obedience. That is straight obedience. But submitting to someone's will is different. You somewhat have a choice. Notice I said somewhat. You have a choice. Let me give you an example of submit, right? Let's say you're in a wrestling match and they got you in one of those locks in a grappling match, and they got you in one of those arm lock moves. You feel the tension. You know for a fact, if this goes on any longer, you're gonna snap your bone. You're gonna dislocate your shoulder. Something that is gonna happen that goes against your best interest. So what do? You submit, because you know submitting is in your best interest. Notice I'm bringing this shit up because this was a wedding. Okay? A wedding is supposed to be two people coming together under a union. And God is supposed to bless their union. That's a ritual, by the way. Spiritual ritual. Submitting to your husband because you understand he's a great leader, and you understand submitting to that man is going to be in your best interest. Submitting and obedience is not the same thing. This is why in this book they say, women, submit to your husbands, but the man, Christ, should be the head of their life. Women, submit to your husbands, and Christ should be the head of your life. Christ is the highest level of consciousness a man can reach. Christ is ancient. Even before Jesus the Christ, there was Heru the Christ. Christ is ancient. Highest level of consciousness a man could reach. Quite frankly, guys, I got a daughter. You know, and if she does marry a man, I would expect her to submit. But don't be obedient, because if you are obedient, you are blindly following someone. I know for a fact you can marry someone today. 10 years later, they can be completely different than the person you married. What happens if you marry a man, 10 years later, he's strung out on drugs, the mortgage is behind because he got a gambling problem? Christ is clearly no longer the head of this man's life. But if you're a fucking obedient dog, this man is going to lead y'all to the homeless shelter. He ain't going to lead y'all to salvation. He ain't going to lead y'all to the promised land. As above, so below. There is paradise on earth if you create it. As above, so below. There is paradise on earth if you create it. On earth as it is in heaven. Peep the game. Your husband can lead you to the promised land, assuming Christ is the head of his life and he's disciplined and he has a plan. The man can lead you to the promised land, or he can lead you straight to hell on earth, lead you to the homeless shelter, lead you to bankrupt, lead you to financial turmoil because you got a shitty leader. This is why you should not be obedient to any human being. If I was a woman, I have no problem submitting as long as this man has clearly shown me he has not lost his way. Men and women both, we're not perfect. We can lose our way. I don't think anybody should be obedient to anybody. People lose their way. It has happened time and time and time and time and time again, and it will continue to happen. Put your faith in God. I will never put my faith in no man. The moment this person has shown you he has lost his way, you better watch that person. I don't give a fuck if it's your mama, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your best friend. The moment they show you they're no longer the person they used to be, keep your eye on them. Unless they're changing for the better. Energy works both ways. Some people literally change for the better, and some people change for the worse. And if you're obedient to this fool, you know, they warn you time and time again about blind leading the blind. So, you know, think about that shit for a moment. Didn't mean to go on a super long rant. I just wanted to get my point across. I believe a wife should submit, but obedience, I'm going to have to say no. If you feel otherwise, comment below. Again, I feel like there's no right or wrong answers here. We are all free to live our lives the way we choose, as long as we ain't directly hurting nobody, trespassing on anybody, infringing on anybody's free will. I'm a firm believer we have a right to live our lives how we want. Comment below, let me know what you think about the situation. Please do. This is what this channel is for. We are here to reflect. Comment below and let me know what you think. So again, like I said earlier, it will be very irresponsible, and you can literally curse yourself saying shit with your tongue in front of witnesses. This is a ritual. Weddings are a ritual. Saying shit that you don't believe in nor agree with. If she doesn't agree with being obedient, she has every right to say, no, keep going. I'm not gonna say that. So again, I'm not here trying to play devil's advocate and take this woman's side. All I'm saying is, I definitely see this shit from her point of view. So again, guys, this video has already been kind of long. The point I'm trying to make is this. I'm not saying I agree with this woman. I'm not saying I agree with this man's choice of wife. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is this. Marriage is a spiritual ritual. It's literally a soul contract. I'm not trying to make it sound heavy, but fuck it, it is fucking heavy. Marriage is a big deal. It's a spiritual thing. And one way to curse yourself, one way to fuck yourself, is saying shit with your tongue in front of witnesses, saying vows with your tongue, making promises with your tongue that you know for a fact don't align with your core values. Period. Not saying I agree with the shit, but it's your life and you have every right to be happy. My idea of paradise, my idea of heaven on earth may not be your idea of paradise. It may not be your idea of heaven on earth. And that's completely fine. But if you're gonna take a partner and you're gonna fuse together, like in Dragon Ball Z, fusion, two souls becoming one flesh, you're my better half, I'm your better half, then we gotta be on the same fucking page. If that woman feels like her man must be a provider and provide a certain standard of living to keep her happy, then so fucking be it. He chose to be with her, not me. Shit, that's his problem, not mine. She doesn't want to be obedient, fine. To be honest with you, I don't agree with that obedient shit, no way. I agree with being submissive, and I agree with being submissive as long as it's in your best interest to be submissive. It's in the best interest of myself. If we have any kids, it's in the best interest of our kids. It's in the best interest of yourself and your kids to be submissive to this man. Assuming Christ is the head of his life. He's in good consciousness. He ain't falling off, losing his way, slacking off in discipline, putting our family in harm's way. If he's not doing that, yes, I will be submissive. But the moment, I'm talking like I'm a woman, by the way, but the moment that man proves he's no longer in his right mind, that moment he proves that Christ is no longer the head of his life, the moment he proves he has in fact lost his way, you shouldn't be submissive to that shit. That man is going to lead you to hell. I've seen it happen a number of times. So there it is, guys. This video is long enough. Y'all be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think, alright? Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe. Holla back at your boy.